I'm going to climb up this way. Just massive granite everywhere. Look at this. It says Phillips on it. That's like 15 feet high. Guys, I'm on the short side there, and that's going to be about 15 feet wide on the base. Just tons and tons of granite or geopolymer. Let's see. Definitely granite on the bottom. Yeah, my guess is granite, but it's perfectly honed. And this Egyptian symbolism on it. I mean, that's massive. Off to my left, there's some Egyptian symbolism. I'll show you that next. Pretty impressive structure, guys. Just a chapel. Made of granite. Let's go over here, guys. This is... Don't ask me why this is sitting over here. Some Egyptian symbolism. Stands about 12 feet tall. I apologize for the sun right in the way. Just massive. America, conservative, Africa, libertarian. Huh. Let's see if there's a date on it. I mean, this is Martin Milmore, sculptor, Boston, 1872. Really? I mean, you're sculpting with granite? That? Guys, that's huge. It's got to be 15 feet long. As it sits there on top, it's probably 8 feet high. My estimation, that thing's got to be about 15 or 20 tons. Just the sculpture on the top. That's facing directly at the chapel. Coming up. A lot of finials at the top. Look right there. It looks like it has a dragon symbol. Actually, looks like the phoenix Pretty cool. And the roof, guys, the roof is all stone tiles. To me, this is more like a geotextile material. Very heavy gauge steel of granite. This one says born on it. I mean, you're talking a size of a house, and the granite is just overwhelming. The pieces, guys, like that granite piece rounded, and it takes up the whole side there with the medallion on it. I mean, you're talking like 4 or 5 ton. And the whole thing's filled with granite pieces that size. Wow. You can see the statue in front of you. Hello. It's got a pretty good echo in here. The floor is tiled perfectly. When you stick your head in here, guys, wow. I can't describe it, but it's I don't know, like a scary, peaceful feeling overcomes you. Pretty weird. Every way you look, there's mausoleums on the hillside. Little ones, big ones, bigger ones. Then you have little ones like this, which are actually pretty massive. And it's got a 18-foot, 10-ton obelisk just sticking right out of it, because that's what you want. In the 1800s, you wouldn't have it no other way. Okay? Today we dream of a plastic pinwheel and a Budweiser celebration. But back then, 1836, you got yourself a massive granite mausoleum built into the hillside, some with obelisks sticking right up out of them. Intricately carved. Look at the acanthus leaves at the top of the column, right? Guys, this one has the all-seeing eye right at the top. See that? The urn. It's got hope and dove on this side. All-seeing eye of justice on the front. Oh, of course, there's a dog on the front, right? Charity. Don't know what that symbol is. Maybe someone knows it. And on this side, faith and a cross. Even the top of that thing is just so intricately carved. Here it sits. All right, I'm back out at the entrance to Mount Auburn Cemetery. And I missed this one monument coming in. It says Stevens on it. I just wanted to show this thing. I mean, you're talking just a massive, massive piece of granite here, guys. I'm gonna walk on the other side so we can have the sun touching it. Been battling the sun my whole time here. And look at this thing. Shadows now, right? It's got these giant claw feet. They're like 1.5 feet round, guys. This thing stands about, I don't know, 10 feet high. It's not all one piece, but man, you're talking to carve something like this would be a monumental feat. I think something like that would take a year to carve in 1872. It's the date it has on there. I mean, come on. I think something like that by itself would take a year to carve. Unless you had a group of Irish immigrants, they could knock it out on a weekend, you know. You never know. All right, I'm gonna go see what else I can find. That's the Henry Winkley obelisk with the urn at the top. Just massive, guys. It's bigger than it looks. It's about 35 feet high. Born in New Hampshire, 1803, died in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1888. And here in Cambridge, he gets himself a 35-foot obelisk. P.T. Pace gets himself a big obelisk as well. Frank Tack gets himself a big monument. W.P. Walker got himself a 6-foot round sphere. All right, I made my way over to the Forest Hills Cemetery. Couldn't find the Elliott Arch. Anyways, this place looks like it has a lot to offer. Look at the the entryway to this place, huh? I'll go walking through that, but I just wanted to look at this building first. Just beautiful architecture, right? Old world all the way. Look at the brick archway there. All sculpted with chisel. Yeah. Let's just walk through here. Let's check out this building first, and then we'll go. This must be the casket exit. The stonework here, guys, is just incredible. As you can see, it's the same stuff. Looks like it's been hewn, you know? It's the same rock. It's the theme of this entire place. All right, that's the building I was just showing you. This is the entryway. And the walls that surround it with the steel work goes right down the street. There's a private residence down there that is exactly like this. It says no entry. But this archway is just over the top. It says 1865 at the top. I don't know if you could see that. The steel gate going in here, guys, is incredible. Like, check this out. Of course, the camera makes it look small, right? These are massive. They gotta be 4 inches thick each side. Look at this archway. It's like that geopolymer type of stuff they find everywhere. Here's a piece of the gate right here, just sitting here. And I can't even pick this up. Yeah, it's got to be like 80 pounds, just that one little piece. See what it says up there. I cannot read it. Anyway, as you enter here, you got some pretty impressive sculptures to the left and to the right. And this one directly in front. I don't know if you can see that. Apologize about the light, because it doesn't look like that to my eyes. Let's see if I can get closer. Anyway, that's facing the entrance. Another impressive sculpture over there. And then right here, see, you got some of this same stuff I see everywhere around here. This goes all the way into the Arboretum as well. It's in the Franklin Park Zoo as well. They have a giant bunch of stone there, right? A bunch of natural looking stone. And then there's a tall tower sitting right on top of it. Let's go have a closer look at that. You can see where some of the stone has just fallen away. If it falls apart like that, why are they building out of it? Yeah, look at this cooked out walkway here. Now they're gonna say, you know, this is just all carved in here like this by hand. Yeah, this is just a giant wrecked structure right here. These stairs are not straight at all. Oh man, this is crazy. Right off the pathway. Anyway, checking out this tower, sitting right atop this rock structure. It's pretty impressive. Pretty close, so you can't really see the entire thing, but look at the steps here. This place was blasted. It's the same stuff when I was going through all the woods. Same exact stuff. Stands about 60 feet tall. And look, works down into more walled ruins. Same rock. I'm going to keep saying that through this whole video. Look at that. Monument's about 15 feet tall. Sits at the base of this tower. Let's see if I can get it all in here. It's got like the finials all over it. And there's a look at the top of that tower. There's windows in it. Be nice to get in there. Look at this thing, huh? All the finial, you know, the sprouting plants, seeds that we call tech. As you can see, the tower sits on this massive wall. And they got all these. Yeah, okay. Looks like an archway right there, guys. I don't know if you can see the ghosting, but it looks like an archway. There's actual tag there as well. Major Amphorin May. Doesn't that look like an archway right there? That looks like definite brickwork right there, right? This is definitely structure. Yeah, something's been changed there, guys. Oops. Interesting. All right, let's see what else is around here. All right, I was just showing you the tower over there. You can't really see through the trees. Across the street over here, I see a couple of mausoleums off that way, so I'll go this way to start. But look at this rusted out rockwork here. And look at the steel. Stands about 15 feet high. Don't know what that is. Just another massive, oversized, albeit small. It's probably like 15 feet tall, but it's got giant blocks of granite, guys. Like, I can't stress how big the blocks are. No date either. It says time on it, T-H-Y-M. Like, this block right here, it's about 4 feet tall, and you see how elaborately it's carved, so we're told, right? It's even got this cutout piece here. I mean, come on. 2 steel doors on this one. You got the gate on the outside, and then the steel door inside. I don't know if you could see inside there. He is not here, for he has risen. This kind of religious statue made out of stained glass in there. This block right here. No, that's one piece right there. Like, how can I describe it? I don't know how thick it is, but it's like 4 feet by about 7 feet, or 4 by 6. Let's see if it's, and look at that. It's like 12 inches thick, 10 inches at the top, and about 16 inches at the bottom, this piece right here. Like, Really? They do this like last year? Because they certainly didn't do it in the 18 blah blah blahs. Just the carving on the triangle part up here. Sorry, guys. Just that carving right there would take some doing, right? Yeah, and there's mausoleums everywhere here. All right. Just for a little flavor, right next to this mausoleum, the Time Mausoleum, look at this. The amount of granite right here, guys, is just insane. Aerial low. Mother, father. I don't know. Just look at the carving. How do you carve something like that, guys? To me, that's more, you know, like a 3D print job. How do you carve something like that? In 1862, 1886. So 1886 is the latest date I see here. Granite, marble. Come on. No one carved that. That was made by a machine. A 3D stone cutting machine. This person couldn't afford a stone, so he got one that was already here in 1920. Obelisk over there is about 30 feet tall. Say something like that's got to be about 20 tons if it's solid. Here we have some of the rock that I've been seeing all day. And right atop this block, Joe Warren. Major General Grand Master of Masons, Doctor, Son of Liberty, born 1741, slain at Bunker Hill, June 17th, 1773. Defend and preserve those civil and religious rights and liberties. I don't know, I think the rock tells the more important story there, guys. All right, work my way into some garden area. Check out this standalone mausoleum. It's about 25 feet high. Looks to be solid granite, guys. Pillars made of solid granite. Because the camera makes it all look small, right? Has the appearance like it could be newer. Those are about 6 feet tall. That one there. And this one over here. Yeah, 2018. Does looks brand new. It's rough. It's rough. Maybe not as great as the past. Let's take a look inside. It's just a granite room. Like, why is stuff like this made? Well, obviously, something like this can be done in the present. Because there you're looking at it. So I turn around here. Wall of that rock over here. Giant monuments. I mean, if they're solid, guys, you know, you're talking 50 ton, 20 ton, 20 ton. Of course, it's all right in front of the rock, right? I'm right near it, and you still can't see it the way I can. It's just menacing wall of rock right there. And as I walk around this part of the rock over here, I saw another mausoleum out the corner of my eye. Looked like it was built into the rock. Harris. Yeah, I mean, the rock's right here. See the rock, right? And then, bang, mausoleum right there. This one looks pretty old. Think there are bodies in there, guys? Yeah, built right on top of the rock. It's all that same rock. I wonder if I can get up in there. Huh. I can't really get up in there, but as you can see, it's all the destroyed rock. And they got these mangrove type trees growing out of everything. And I'm standing on a mound that's probably a quarter mile around. Just an incredible place, guys. All right, I'm going to hit one more location on the way back to my truck, and then I'm going to call it a visit. So until I get there, hang on. Just trying to make all these mausoleums make sense. McBride. Smooth granite, polished. The entire thing is polished. More giant monuments, mausoleums. This one over here, not certain of the language. The spelling there. Intricately carved. Granite. That entire side, except for the 1 foot section here, is just one piece. And here it's like 10 inches thick. And that whole side, as well as the back. I mean, you're talking 4 pieces make up this mausoleum here. Just on top of this giant feather and wedge wall. Anyway, there's the other side. Yeah. Let's check out this wall. Quarried and brought here, right? Quarried. I mean, you can see the cement in this stuff. It's pebblecrete all the way. Same rock stuff. Oh look, this is all like curbing. All making up the wall. Just, it's incredible. Everywhere you go. Doesn't matter where you go, you're gonna find something. Anyway, one more spot, guys. Bear with me. All right, so the entranceway is right over here, and that wall that goes down the street with the ironworks leads down to this private property here. Just another spectacular house. Apparently, no one's allowed to go in here. I'm walking, right? I just want to get a... Maybe it's a private, maybe someone lives there, I don't know. I just wanted to look at this wall that goes up the side of the street. Beautiful gate going into this place. Yeah. Pretty cool house, guys. It's got a brick chimney on it. Look at this wall, just goes up the whole entire street. The ironwork on the side, massive. It's that one sheet of iron there, that's got to be like 500 pounds, right? Let's just walk the wall. Get a look at where no one gets to go, right? Who walks the wall? Cooked out wall. Think we'll find any bricks? You never know. Tell you one thing, guys, it's a pretty massive wall. A lot of steel, a lot of work, a lot of intricate carving went into this wall. And you do this just for a cemetery? Look at that. Giant hills all throughout the cemetery. Mausoleums on all sides of the hills. The endless wall. Like, who goes through this sort of stuff for a cemetery? I mean, obviously, guys, it was something else. Just trying to rattle some brains, get some answers from people. These pillars seem to be heavily damaged. You know, it's that geopolymer type material, cement. Looks like it's getting a little tight through here. You got rhododendrons blocking everything off, but it just keeps on going. I'm gonna turn around right here and get myself out of this little mess and head on back to my truck. All right, guys, thanks a lot, and I'll catch you on the next one. face is this whole block right here. Goes up to there. Here. It's all part of that. Again, this block goes here, goes up about 3 feet, and then cuts across and includes that whole section right there. It's one solid piece. I'd say about 3 feet by 3 feet. Looks like something was removed here. Like something was removed there as well. All 3 of those faces right there. That's all one piece. Look at this structure right here. I mean, come on. Really? This is not small. Look at this terracing. Just the weekend's work, huh, guys? Goes around in a complete circle. Nothing but the best for the governor. Giant key here. This is just over the top. I mean, what the hell? Why not? Little lookout built of marble, granite. Look at that. It goes down to a grand entryway on this side. Water, and on the other side is Massachusetts. Yeah, this place is pretty damn impressive. I've never seen so many obelisks in a cemetery, and I've been to quite a few now. Like, this is the jackpot of obelisks. Okay, I was just up there. That was the lookout. This is the Governor, Sprague, and with all its granite glory. And as you follow this, granite here, you see the next one here. It's got a grand stairway up. It's everywhere here, guys. But let's follow this granite wall right here. Okay? This wraps around here. Yeah, and look, it goes in ground, right? And you keep following it. Oh, look. There's the top of the next one. Right there. And it just disappears. No, actually, I'm following it. I'm walking along, and look, it's all buried. And here's the other side. So all buried, and then it keeps going, pops back up. To the front here. Waterman. Hutchins. Is that how they would have built that, guys? Use a little common sense when you answer that in your head. Here's another one, same thing. Front of it. Go this way. Goes up the hill. Looks like a little piece fell off there, but then it goes in ground. Underneath the bush there's a pillar, and then it keeps going this way, right? It's all underground. Might as well bury some people right here. And then it swings back, turns here, and then comes back out this way. And continues that way as well. But I just started out in that corner, walked around this thing. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so you're a engineer, person in charge of surrounding the Jackson Monument with a granite structure with a grand stairway or little stairway. So what do? You're engineering this thing. You got a full build, right? And you decide this 100-foot section here should all be buried. Yeah, one day there's gonna be grass there. So we build it and then we bury it. And then the monumental piece is complete. While you're at it, you say, why not add some of these history, old looking stones. We'll just pile them on in here and we'll give it a look that no one can deny. Put some dates on there, 1877. That's what we'll do. And we'll just keep stacking the monuments. One obelisk after another after another. Yeah, that's what you do when you're an 1800s engineer, right? Just do the impossible. What no one would expect. Look. Even the trash containers are solid granite artwork. Carved or formed. I imagine that's not the only one. It's like a theme park, guys. To me, anyway. I mean, this is just way over the top. Got everything thrown in here. And here we go with the granite exterior, all underground. Oh yeah, there's more. Hey guys, David Wayne here. I'm in North Attleboro, Massachusetts at the Mount Hope Cemetery. And I'm just looking at this unique entryway. It's got this red megalithic rock appearing material. Rocks. This entire thing is just got a red hue to it. Looks all muffed up. Just wanted to take a look around, start right here. 1850. I don't know if you can see the design there. Looks like this wall has gone through something. All right, let's go inside and see what I can find. There's the entryway right there, where I was just at. And as you come in through here, on either side, we got things like this. Some kind of mausoleum, says 1870. Look at the size of that stone on the top, where the name is carved. Relief, you know, the size of that stone, guys. It's got to be like a 3 or 4 ton stone. They're just throwing stuff like that around in 1870. It's a metal door. There's another mausoleum type of structure here. This one looks a little more beat up on the end. It's still megalithic stone. The tree growing right out of it. Same kind of capstone, just massive. All right, let's see what else is around. You know, North Attleboro is a pretty small town here in Massachusetts. And to see something like this granite surround, and it's everywhere throughout the cemetery. But to see a monument like that, I mean, it's made up of 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, and then the urn at the top, 5. I mean, you're talking 4 feet by 4 feet by 6 feet. I mean, you're talking 6, 7 ton pieces. No problem, right? And look, the granite just goes on and on. It's everywhere. This one takes the cake though, that's massive. And we go this way, there's more. And right over here where this obelisk is, there's some granite around it that's falling apart. And I just wanted you to see what was behind one of these. So as you can see, it fell over right there. Rebar. Feather and wedge. Carved. And then you have the, the drill holes all over it. Perhaps pneumatic. Yeah. Let's keep looking. Looks like this one's missing an obelisk. This piece has fallen away. I mean, look at that. Something's missing here. Unlike all the rest, which have something on it. This place is a lot bigger than I thought it was. Look at this, we got a couple of 30-foot obelisks here. It's just huge. Huge, huge cemetery just in the middle of nowhere in North Attleboro. Draper. You see that name in Hopedale. Just look at the monument, guys. Granite, and then polished granite. Can't read the date on it, but anyways, it's a big cemetery. Such a small town, too. Why did everyone in the past get grand monuments? It seems like everyone got one. But today, everyone, they all get these little stones. It's been that way for the last 30 or 40 years, right? Everyone gets a small stone. It's too expensive. But back in the day, they could have all those. So here's the newer part of the cemetery. And as you can see, all the stones get smaller and smaller as we get, you know, into our age. Look at this old building just sitting here. So this is how they constructed buildings way back when, eh? Building wasn't constructed like that. You gotta be out of your mind if you think this was constructed this way. How would you do this, right? The mortar has to set, and you got heavy meatball rocks, and that looks totally like brick. Ridiculous to think that that was constructed like that. No, something happened. I was just showing you that building, and I just wanted to come over here and show you the newer section, right? So just as much space in the newer section. But you notice the stones, they get smaller and smaller as we get into our time frame. Does that ring a bell with anyone? I mean, does that make sense? You would think a more advanced society would be able to create better and bigger masterpieces instead of smaller and smaller and smaller. Anyways, all the rolling hills everywhere, the whole cemetery made up of a bunch of hills. And I got a note here, the trees are just magnificent and huge here as well. And as I near my truck, there's this house just sits here in the cemetery, and look at the foundation. It's just how they built it, huh? Built it out of meatball looking rocks and then put all that heavy wood on top. So this monument right here, it's about 18 feet high. It's about 8 feet wide on the bottom by about 6 feet. If that is all granite, it says 1921 there, the latest date. If that's all granite, something like that has to be, you know, like 50 tons or more. How are they constructing this stuff in 1920? just process that. And then as I walk through here, there's another one right there. You look throughout this cemetery. It's loaded with tonnage. Like this sarcophagus over here. And it's like 8 feet tall, right? On shards of rock. I mean, think about it. Supposedly all hand carved, right? For Mr. Charles Fletcher. Looks a lot newer though. Anyway, it just blows my mind the amount of tonnage that was being tossed around in the 1800s and early 1900s. And the craftsmanship of this stuff is just insane. Just thrown together, no problem. Again, it just blows my mind how they could toss, it says 1882 on it, they could just toss like, you know, this together, all made of granite, hundreds of tons, you know? And it's no problem. It's here, we have to believe it, right? As far as the eye can see. Look at this one here. I guess about 20 feet high. Maybe a little more. I've shown this one before. 1900 is the earliest date, or the latest date on that. And look. You know, just a 20-ton obelisk sitting on shards, and it never loses its balance in over 100 years. Really? And the sewer and drainage system here is just elaborately done. I've shown this many times. The steel is incredible. This entire thing built in the mid-1800s, right? They could do anything steel-wise, anything underground. Just the entire park is filled with wonders. Cemetery, park. In my mind, they're the same thing. Parks and cemeteries are the same. Loaded with unbelievable ruins and impossible monuments and what have you. Let's see if we can find some old stuff in here. As far as we know, like these look old right here. To me, those look new. They don't look old. Probably replacements. But, yeah. They look old doesn't mean they are old. It's just what you're willing to believe. Now, some of these trees that are in here are old. How old? I'll leave that up to you. I think some of these are really old, like 300 or 400 years. This one here is different from all the rest. (1850) erected. I don't know what the coating is, but it almost feels plastic. I don't know. Just one of the amazing oddities you always find in an old world cemetery. Let's continue. Again, another obelisk. Just sitting on a pile of rocks. (1898). Died next to an old tree. Let's continue. Alright, just coming over a little grassy knoll here. Another obelisk sitting on top of rock chips. As I go down this embankment, we got a couple of mausoleums here. Like, why are there mausoleums like this into the side of these hills and what have you? Last time I was here, it was wintertime. This one looks newer, could be old, I don't know. This one here is just massive, meaning the materials that make up it are just massive granite. Like the pillars are like 8 feet tall, all one piece. They seem to be one piece. And these blocks that make up the side, and that one right there is like 10 feet long, 2.5 feet up and down. Who knows how thick? But I mean, we're talking a lot of tonnage, right? Just something that was slapped up in 18 blah blah blah. For Butts and Smith. No date on it. I mean, really? Just on the side of a hill. Butts and Smith. Must have been quite the couple, huh? Butts and Smith over there. I just wanted to take a look at this one. This one has a date of 1918 on it. Again, like you look at the rooftop, if that's a solid piece of granite, how was that put up there? You're not doing that with wooden pulleys and chains and rope. They could just carve anything. Oh yeah, there's just nothing in there. There's some elaborate stained glass though on the sides. It's all covered up so you can't see it. Like that piece right there that's angled up. If that is all one piece of granite, talking, 14 feet by about 8 or 9, 10 feet going up. I guess it could be cement, but it doesn't look like cement. And how would that be done as well? This is granite. Machine carved. You got the feather and wedge on the bottom. Again, not something we would do today, right? Not something at all that we would do today. All right, here are the tulip trees in the beginning of September. I've only come here mainly in the wintertime. 120 feet high. In a valley surrounded by mounds, so that they're the same height as all the other trees. Just massive. I do think that they change out the surrounds whenever they need to. I think that's newer. And there's a lot of newer granite in here too. Like if you just look randomly, like you see that one up there, looks new. Let's go see if it has a date on it. Of course we gotta go up mounds, right? Because this is just where you would bury people. This looks like an older surround right here. See how it's all buried? I think it has a date on it, guys. The one next to it says 1926. Yes, 1927. But it's newer. So they do replace these. There's another one there. I think this place is constantly undergoing these granite changes. There's some newer stuff here too. And like all these, they're all brand new. It says 1897, but it's brand new. Look what it's sitting on. It's been moved by the winter snows. That's a new stone as well. Like, explain that. If it looked all ruined and weathered and you saw it there, you'd be like, oh yeah, it's just old. The tree's taking it over. Massive tree. White ash. There's another new stone. City treasurer, member of Congress. Of course, they get all the newer stuff, right? Just to keep in line with history. So what do you think, guys? These just been added here? Creating a fake history on our timeline? Like in the last 20 years or so? I think so. I'm inclined to think so. Thank you for your faithful service. Again, newer ones. You just swing around here, you can tell all the new ones, right? That's new in there. Or it's some kind of granite I've never seen, and only in cemeteries where it never ages. Highly unlikely. Let's look and see if this one has a date on it. Kimball. (1972) is the latest date I can see there. Even so, you know, 53 years is a long time. It should have some weatherization on it, right? Yeah, it's just so weird to see all this new stuff. Did I see this stuff during the winter time? I have to look at some of my, this one's new. It says 1987. So some of them have newer dates, but some of them don't, which makes you wonder. Look over here, there's 3 little ones in the ground. 2 look old, 1 looks new. Let's see if they replaced it with the old date. Nope. Brand new, 2019. Very interesting. Let's continue on this theme. Alright, I just walked around that one. 1880 was the latest date I could see on this. Looks to be made out of like a brownstone, or at least the covering is. Just sitting on rock chips and cement appearing like transformed brick, right? Perfectly level for 140 years. And as I swing out here, I've shown this in the past. Schwartz. Just over the top monument and surround. And notice the front. Always the Masons that get the biggest and most elaborate stuff. And the odd stuff, right? Always. All right, another 50, 60 or plus ton monument for a governor of Rhode Island. And as I work my way through here, we're gonna see some old. And then look at this. Look at that money symbol there. This whole surround here, it's all brand new. The old one was probably down by the water, where I've caught in a previous video. But that's all brand new. This is brand new. Within a few years old. So they're constantly fixing these up, replacing. It's like an ongoing thing. That'll definitely confuse people in the future, right? Just looks like a theme park for monument stones, right? I mean, come on. What are these places that we started burying our dead in? I'm in the main entrance area. You know, these drains are just throughout the whole park. There's the main monument over there. It's like a 40-foot high monument. And you see stuff like this. Like, yeah, it's a newer stone, right? None of these people have passed yet, so paid for future burial. Hey, I wonder if they make electric ones like that. That would be pretty cool to get around a place like this. And then the rocks that surround this whole cemetery. You see a lot of these in the park. They just use these old destroyed rocks as headstones. The entire cemetery is surrounded by walls with giant cataclysmed boulders. Anyway, curious what people think. I know there are real dead people here. We know that for sure. We've been burying them like this for 150 years. But what is it with all the new replaced stuff? And then stuff we know is cataclysmed remains. Just a rock. Someone couldn't afford a stone, so they just got whatever was lying around and glued some cheap metal letters on it. And that's what it looks like, right? I don't know, guys. Let me know what y'all think. Alright, sitting along a ginkgo tree. See this drain right here? Can you see the bricks? Anyway, bricks can be found everywhere. Look at this rather unique headstone in the cemetery. Just a giant rock, right? Appears to be. My guess would be about 10, 12 ton. And look how it was carved. The latest date on there I see is 1914. Whether it was done then or not, who knows? You can't believe that that was hand carved, do you? That looks like it was formed. To me, anyway. And while I'm right here, all the stones around here in this vicinity have the same raised design. Do you know how hard something like that would be to carve? This one out over here. Again, 4 or 5 ton monument. Looks simple, right? But ask yourself, is it simple? (1907) is the latest date I see on this stone. Ask yourself, is something like that easy with a chisel and a hammer? I don't know about 1907. Maybe there was better methods, etc. But some of this stuff, they tell us, is really, really old. And I just wonder how it could be carved. I mean, the CNC machines weren't even invented until the 1950s. Here we have 1904 as the latest date. Who knows if the date's correct, right? But how are you carving that whole stone in one piece, right? Like this whole top here looks to be carved in one piece. How? And what about stuff like this? 30-foot high obelisks. See, the latest date on here is 1906. Don't know if that's the case or not, but why? The bottom is 10 feet by 10 feet. This is perfectly straight, pointing to the heavens, right? And look, just put on rocks and bits, and that's it. That's how it's done. Okay, so now I see 1936 on there. You know, stuff like that could have been added, right? We don't know how old these things are. But even at 1936, what did I say? 1945. Even at 1945, you're talking 10 years before CNC carving machines were even made. So I just don't get monuments and cemeteries, especially the older ones. They're telling us this is all hand carved. Next time you're in an old cemetery and there are all these varieties of trees, these 10, 15-ton behemoth stones, monuments, obelisks, and little buildings like this. Built out of stone, slate, steel. Rock and cement. Ask yourself, how these 1800s people figure this all out? And here we are, we can't figure nothing out. Perhaps they were from a different place than us. So Shawnee, I had a cancellation in your area this Friday, so I figured, what the heck? I plugged in Luraul Cemetery and here I am. I gotta say, this place is a bit overwhelming for me. It's going to take more than one visit to figure this out. It's the craziest cemetery I've ever seen. Just wanted to document the walls around Laurel Hill. So as you go around the blocks, there's like massive walls everywhere, and I do mean everywhere. So I have to take a really sharp right here, so bear with me. Alright, so getting towards the bottom of Laurel Hill, and you see the wall here. This entire hill is like pyramidal, and you got these massive walls just all around it. If you look up in the woods, you see wall as well, but you can't really see it. You know, it's so thick with vegetation. But you can see the wall here. Just surround, it's the entire hill. And then you have all the monuments itself inside the cemetery. As you come around, is, you know, the main side of the cemetery, and as you look up the hill, you see the walls, and you see that it's a pyramidal structure, right? You got all the terracing up there. This place is pretty fascinating. I'm just trying to find a place to park, which there doesn't seem to be any. All right, I think I found a decent place to park here. And this is Luraul Cemetery in Fitchburg. Definitely a massive structure with walls at the base, terracing all the way to the top. Let's go check it out. The thing that strikes me the most, besides the wall around the property, around the whole hill, is the amount of granite everywhere. Like, this is overkill. Like, who in their right mind this has got to be a destroyed structure. $1855. This place is pretty overwhelming. Here's something I haven't seen before. You got these tight rows and these stones built right into the granite. These granite pieces are probably 1 foot by 4 feet by 10 feet long, and then they have the stones sticking out of them. As we go up, you can see the terracing up here. It's overwhelming granite terracing. Again, the terracing here with all the granite is way over the top. I've never seen anything like this before. Steel connecting them two. Perpetual care. Just massive. See my car down there, the only car here. But Luraul Cemetery. I'm about halfway up the hill. I've never seen so much granite in all my life. And I was just in New Hampshire. This is more granite than Diana's baths. It's a crazy place. Okay, I'm just about at the top, overlooking downtown Fitchburg. And again, this place is a bit overwhelming. Just the amount of granite in this place, and just being on top of a hill, the way that the base of the wall, you know, at the base of Luraul Hill, all around it is massive walls surrounding this place, and then you have the granite all the way up here. It's just unexplainable. I guess that could be the top right there. Probably a 20-foot obelisk, but man, that thing looks like it's got to be about 20 ton. Let's check it out. I mean, look around this. All right, first of all, you got this, must be about 20 feet high. Gosh, I'd say at least 20 to 30 ton. And then surrounding it, you got this granite with these holes that are about 3 inches deep. Like there was probably something all around this, some kind of steel that was taken away. I mean, that says died in 1822. Obviously, this thing was probably put in after the fact, right? Why? Who needs such a thing? All right, I'm at the top of the Luraul Cemetery. And I remember Shawnee B showing the steel work. This is at the very top on the back side corner. Let's check out this ironwork here. Super, super heavy, like overwhelmingly heavy. Oh yeah, it's just it's like a 1/2 inch steel. I mean, just think of the process that had to have been done to make this stuff, and then to erect it up here on top of a hill. That doesn't make any sense. And if we go to the back side here, the back side of the cemetery, it's like I'm on the rooftop of a giant structure, and it's all been buried and covered and obscured. It's about 12 feet tall, 10 feet. The columns are about 8 foot high. Just massive granite blocks. Hey, I wonder if I'll get something like this when I die. Shit, I'll be glad if I'll be happy if I get one of those plastic pinwheels that blow in the wind. You know, the little things we used as kids. Whee! Yeah, no, I don't think I'm getting anything like here. You can see the terracing, like, that's steep. I don't dare walk down here because it's real steep, but it's definitely something buried here. Kids, if you're watching, I don't need anything like this. I'll be happy with a little plastic pinwheel blowing in the wind, okay? So there's the back side of that little place I was showing you. And as you come down about 20-30 feet, you're presented with massive walls here, right? All destroyed. There. You got your notches, right? Here's one that's fallen. Physically, I don't see any bricks, but it just keeps going down. Massive walls every 10 or 15 feet. Alright, now I'm on the side of that where I showed you the steep terracing that I didn't want to walk down and the walls that surround it. Now it continues on this side with the terracing, and you'll see here this part of the hill gave way. And you can see behind it, there's more structure behind it. You can see how the wall just fell right over. But there's definitely rock behind it. Sorry for the whiplash. Again, on the back side. And following the walls downward. It just keeps going and up. I said I've never seen so much granite in one place. And as I peer off of here, I don't know if you can see a street. It's probably down about 75, 80 feet. That's where the wall is. Afraid to get too close, but man, walls surrounding this entire thing, and you know, there's walls all through this. So to me, common sense says that this entire place is structure, and this is what's left and been planted on top. It's just a crazy place filled with obelisks and unexplainable granite. Like I said, overwhelming. All right, I've made it back to my car. First impression was a bit overwhelming. Definitely have to come back here. This is the type of place where you need several visits just to comprehend what might even be going on, okay? So, all right, Shawnee B, my first visit to your town in over 20 years. Looking forward to meeting up some Saturday in the future here. Talk to you soon.
Towards Concord.
All right, Fitchburg, very hilly, filled with five-way intersections and massive walls everywhere. Unexplainable old world architecture everywhere, and definitely a must visit for anyone in the area. Hey, David Wayne here. I'm in the Pine Grove Cemetery in Holliston, Mass. Right over in that direction, about 1/8 of a mile beyond the cemetery, is the Holliston Tunnel, where I showed the damaged bricks, Lichtenberg lines and what have you. So I'm standing on the top of the cemetery, what I believe is the highest point, and I just wanted to look at some of these stones, granite work, and around a little bit, see if we can find any walls. Some of these stones seem to be leaching iron. A few of them dated mid-1800s. But, yeah. All right, let's have a look around, see what I can find. Looking at a monument that's about 8 feet high. I'd say about 4 or 5'10". It's got dates. The latest date I saw was 1905. But mostly mid-1800s, like 1845 to 1855. What's interesting about this, as you can see, it's made of marble, but when you go around it, it's all red. Like iron red. Seems like a lot of the stones in here are iron or started marble and get all this red hue to it. Like they've been damaged. This one right here, 1891. You can see it's marble, but it's like it took a hit. Now it's got red. Bennett. So this obelisk, it's probably about 25 feet tall. It's a massive obelisk. Has no date, has nothing on it except for the word Bennett. You Makes you wonder how something like that sitting on the side of the hill keeps its balance perfect. Could there be a rod, giant steel rod right down through the middle connecting underneath? Don't know. Again, up on top of this mound right here is a couple of stones that were marble. And they have red staining all over them. 1918, 1915. All right, there's that Bennett obelisk. And thought this was pretty interesting over here. It's granite surround obelisk. And right adjacent to it turns into this old melted rock wall. Follow it down a little more. Let's keep looking. All right, that wall I just showed you. Come down a little bit further. And there's another wall here. It runs about 40 feet long. Overlooking a lake. On the side has some cinder blocks. Let's see if we can get a closer look at it. Weird. So walking down a couple of 100 feet more. This obelisk is sitting on top of a giant granite. Looks like the whole side of the hill here is all terraced perfectly. A lot of it buried. I come across a row of some small obelisks here, and this one looks pretty interesting. 1890. Looks like it's got some newer etching in there from 1972. So text has either been added to it or it's a faker, right? Who knows? You see the base just sitting on little shards of rock. What's interesting about this one is it has Lichtenberg lines on it. It's marble, and it looks like it's gone through hell. Bottom is granite. That's what a lot of them look like. Looks like a lot of walls in this place are missing too. Let's look at this one right here. Looks to be in the same condition. Marble turned red. Intricate carvings. Looks demied, right? There's a whole hillside here with missing walls, buried terracing, granite sticking out everywhere. Look at this one. Triangle. Cemeteries are so weird. Looks like some missing granite work here, or covered up. I'm on a, you can see missing walls here everywhere. Alright, I found this tucked away little space here underneath some trees. The mausoleum says 1860 on it. And of course, the janky walls, right? Pressure treated lumber covering a passageway in. It's about 8 feet tall. Hey guys, I'm in Sutton, Mass, installing a swimming pool. And look what the customer has in their backyard. It's an unmarked grave. It's not under the jurisdiction of the town or the state. The homeowner's been fighting for years to try and get them to take ownership, but no one will. $18.28. JS42. Can't read that one. 1824, 1821. $18.35. It's probably a good 40 to 50 of them here. $18.46 maybe. $18.45. And look at this one. Right up against the back wall. Demied. And the janky wall goes all the way down to the lake. Anyway, just thought that was worth showing. An unmarked cemetery. 1870. This thing's got some, about 50 years of history to it. But it just sits here